Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Conversations with Chinenye. I have an amazing guest with us today, or with me today. His name is Philip Ejiogu. He's a young politician, he's an engineer, and he was the former House of Assembly member representing Owerri North. He was also the former Deputy Chief Whip, right? Am I right? Okay. Of the Imo State House of Assembly. For those who don't know, I'm actually from Imo State, so I'm proud to have a son of the soil today share some of his experiences, both as a politician, as an engineer, and everything in between. So welcome, Philip.
Thank you very much, Chini.
Tell us a bit about yourself, I think I want to know more about your upbringing, actually.
Okay, I was born in the year 1986 in United Kingdom, and my upbringing was in Abia State, where I had my primary school in International Learning Center. And then after that, I went to a seminary school.
Wow.
In Imo State.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So my parents were kind of preparing me for the priesthood at the time. But I mean, it was a norm in my family. Like, we're 4 boys, and the whole of the boys went to seminary school. And I'm the last, so it was just like a routine. But somehow,
for those who don't know, a seminary school is where you go to actually become a priest.
So a Catholic priest.
A Catholic priest. So I'm so shocked actually about this information.
Yeah. So so maybe mine was a bit different because somehow I was supposed to be the sacrificial lamb.
Wow.
The one that was going to go and actually become a priest. And I think sometime too in life, maybe my JSS3, SS1, I actually had that strong feeling that maybe God was calling me to become a priest. But then after 1 or 2 parties with my friends out of the seminary, I thought, no, that probably wasn't my calling.
Okay, so Philip, you are an alumni of Federal University of Technology, Owerri. For those that don't know, actually, FUTO is one of the greatest institutions in this country. I know a lot of people who are all over the world now who are graduates of FUTO. I think it's like our MIT in Nigeria.
Yeah, when it comes to engineering, is actually like the best.
I think
in
so.
Nigeria.
I think it's like we don't celebrate our institutions enough. So how was your experience?
Very well, very well. I mean, it was somewhat mix of adventurous, a bit of everything though. It was a lovely one, and I would say that I participated in every aspect of school. I was a politician in school as well.
Really?
I ran for the position of director of socials in my department, electrical electronics, and I was that twice. And then I also now went on to the SUG. So
so you're one of those people that started with the student union movement.
Oh yes, very well.
I see.
Very well. So,
I see. Okay, interesting.
And then the academic aspect. I mean, FUTO is one of the most serious schools in terms of curriculum and all that you can think of. I did my West in a far north in Maiduguri. That was when the Boko Haram was really hot, and at some point I had to redeploy to Lagos. But after that, I practiced in my career in engineering. I worked in different alternative energy companies, and I also started a few other side hustles. I got into downstream trucking, oil and gas, and a little bit of upstream as well. And then long after that, I got an appointment in the National Assembly, where I was a special advisor to a rep member who was at the time representing my federal constituency in the House of Reps. And,
awesome.
It was a wonderful experience as well.
So this was how you dabbled into politics?
Yes.
Because I was going to ask you, from your engineering days, how were you now able to switch over to become a politician?
Yeah, it was the call to serve in the National Assembly as an SA. That was actually like my entry point into politics, basically.
Okay. Awesome. So for the people out there, young people out there who are interested in politics, what would be your top 3 in terms of advice to them? What do they need to do to get themselves equipped?
When you don't have the passion for anything, not just politics, when you don't have a passion for anything, you always fail at it, trying to dabble into it. So, and politics is really not for everybody, really, because it's a ton of several events. You have to be sure that you're passionate about it, and you also have to build yourself. Like I'm called Mr. Integrity. It's not something that just, happened overnight. I think over time, trying to do a lot of different stuffs growing up, I built that within myself. So I think that is one thing everyone and every young person trying to get into politics should make sure they have. And contentment too is something else I think everybody is a virtue every young person should build. Whether getting into politics, into business, into whatever it is, contentment is key, because at that point is when you'll be able to say no to certain things that will go against your religion or beliefs and stuff, and every other thing would go.
Conversations with Chinenye. Can there be integrity in politics in Nigeria?
Oh yes, 100%.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you have integrity, you won't be sidelined, or what do you think?
Well, I think the system is gradually changing from what it used to be. Regardless that we also see, a lot of greedy people and a lot of people without any atom of integrity in the system today. But then I think that to a large extent, we're getting to the point where professionalism is gradually, taking a stage in politics. Because time has come where even the corrupt leaders want people with integrity to man various positions in their government, So, and then you also want people who are, round peg in a round hole to be in your administration. So it's always a plus if you have integrity. You don't even need to know anybody, but when you have integrity, one, and when you're a guru in whatever you do, I think somehow you find a space to, deliver your calling.
Conversations with Chinenye. What is your view on democracy in Africa and also democracy in Nigeria as well? One, do you think democracy is a system of government that works for us as a continent? Do you think what we're practicing is actually democracy? Do you have any views on that?
Well, yeah, I think we're practicing democracy to a large extent, and you see, I just think that the little problem we have in our system here is having leaders with conscience, basically. The system is there. I just think is the quality of leaders that we have, because basically the system is a system that works. If you look at other countries that toe the line and have the system of governance and have quality leaders with the interest of the people at heart, they're building their nations 100%. When you come down to Nigeria, you come down to the state levels, on the federal level and everything, you see that it's just like states like Abia State today, everybody's shouting and screaming, oh, this is happening, that's happening. It's the same system, it's the same democracy. So what's the difference between that and other places where we don't have stuff working? So I just think basically what we need are leaders with conscience, leaders that fear God, and leaders that have the best interest of the people at heart.
Conversations with Chinenye.
Just like I always tell you, and every young person out there, is that it's time for everyone to get involved. It's time for every hand to be on deck. So if we have more literates involved in politics, and when I mean politics, I don't mean staying on your phone, on Twitter, on Facebook, or staying on your Instagram or doing whatever. I mean getting involved, going to register with a political party. If you believe in a political party, go and be a member of that political party. That is the only way your voice can count, and you can be amongst whoever it is to decide who is going to be a flag bearer. Because if you come in a contest where there are 5 people and the whole 5 people are all pigs, then it's a contest of pigs. There's really nothing to choose from. So the major politics is to start from the party politics, and then when we are part of the selection, and we select reasonable people that we know that have conscience, that possess all these qualities that would definitely make best of our leaders, I think that's a pass mark for us. So in a situation whereby is a governorship election, and there are 5 political parties, and the flag bearers from the 5 political parties are intellects and people with good morals and character. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? One person gets to win, and whoever wins, we're sure we have a win-win. So I think that is the solution to us solving this problem. Because if everybody sits down and waits for, parties to bring out their contestants, I mean, that might be too late. So right now, if you're complaining, if things are hard for you, and if the economy is biting you so hard, then it's time to sit up and get involved big time. That is my take.
That stuff. So, at the end of the day, they say those who fail to plan to fail. Ideas, and not able to build conversations with Chinenye.
The intention is actually to make people happy, basically, not really to get that whole political or score a political point. So that was basically like satisfaction for me.
Is it easy to make so many people happy as a politician? Because so many people have needs. So how do you balance that?
No. So if you're, there's this saying, like, if you want to make everyone happy, then you go and sell ice cream. Politics, of course, is the hardest way to make people happy. By default, people get to hate you to an extent because it's never enough.
So how are you able to, because obviously you're just one individual, so how can you solve people be coming to you with so many needs? So how do you prioritize? So
you can't actually solve everyone's problem. So basically, my technique was accessibility.
Okay.
Basic. So I made sure that I was accessible to everybody, So it was one thing.
When you don't have money, you can say, "Oh, sorry, I don't have money today." Or...
it's cheaper when you're accessible. It's actually cheaper because when you're not accessible, you get to spend more money, because at any time people get to see you, you have to drop money. So I made it a point of duty that I would always spend weekends in my community, my hometown. Like Fridays to Sundays or Fridays to Monday morning, I go home.
Okay.
And I make it a point of duty to actually attend every event invited to.
That must be really tough.
Yeah, basically, like, I try to, whether for splits of minutes or whatever, I try to just show my face and familiarize. So at every time, everyone is getting to see me. I'm not like a foreign face that you don't get to see for months and months. To a lot of people, what matters is relating with you.
Okay.
To an extent, it just gives them satisfaction that, I can call, like my place, they'll tell you, we're in the beer parlor, if we call Philip right now, he's going to pick.
Wow.
And then they call you. Most times when you see the call coming, that's money going. When you pick up this call, you're going to lose money. But, just to make your people happy, you get to take up the call and, make them feel happy, talk to everybody around there. So give them a sense of belonging. To an extent, that is basically the grassroots we talk about.
I love that.
When you're, most times I go back home, I go for morning masses, and I stroll to the church. Coming back from church, I stroll, I get to say hi to people, and so people just feel you.
Yeah.
They feel governance very close to them. They don't feel that unlike when you're just moving around with sirens and securities and
police escorts.
The normal people have this. There's this detachment somehow, somewhat. When they see military or police people around someone, they just feel that, you're in this world and we're in this world, But of course, times are bad as well. You can't have politicians moving around without security, because when you move around without security and something happens to you, you have yourself to blame.
Conversations with Chinenye. How can people make it in the grassroots? So sometimes people have their fancy degrees, they school abroad, they do a lot of amazing things. Now they want to join politics, and then they're like sitting down in their SUV feeling bigger than everybody else. But I like the point you make about relating with people in the grassroots, strolling on the street, talking to people in the beer parlor, in the church, wherever they might be, the accessibility. So now you've talked about the good sides. I just want you to share, if you have any, maybe one of the experiences that you weren't so proud of, really quickly.
One of the major experiences that I've had, and I think is also a problem we have when it comes to politics, and especially when it involves the younger people, like the youths, is the aspect of money politics.
Money politics.
Yeah, because we know like how many young people can afford to, throw around money trying to get into positions physically, because there's this notion already that if you spend a lot of money trying to get into a position, the first thing you want to do is to recoup your money once you get into the position. And but the problem we also have is that the masses, somehow the orientation is all about there that they're all looking out for whoever has money.
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't have money, they feel
stomach
infrastructure. So if you don't have money, people feel you're just coming out to joke. Even when they see your degrees, they see that you're qualified, they see you have the quality, you have, they just feel that if you don't have money to throw around, you're not coming to do anything. And I think that is really
bad.
It's really
bad. So do you blame the citizens or do you blame the politicians?
No, I blame the citizens actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a notion that we have to change.
Yeah.
So something happened in the last election. I had one of my friends that was also was trying to run for House of Assembly. So he came out under a political party and wanted to run for primaries. So when he met me, he told me that, he's doing this, he's doing that. And I told him, I said, I know your local government. If you're not going to spend money, you're not going to win.
Like how much does a politician have to spend approximately?
Depending on the position you're running for.
Just roughly, like State House of Assembly.
I'm not trying to scare people, but then depending on the political party as well. So if you're running from
a major party, yeah.
APC, PDP, and your Labour, and you're talking about wanting to win your primaries, maybe somewhat about 40 to 50 million.
40 to 50 for your primaries?
Yeah, for the primaries.
What about the general election?
So the general election is on you. It depends on the style you want to run your elections.
Like, on average, a comfortable amount?
Maybe about 50,
100. 50-50?
Yeah, so it depends. There are people, so that when you see campaigns going on, you could see someone having more visibility. So the guy is on all the billboards, lovely posters, have the jingles running on the radio, often on. All of that is money.
So that'll be about 50 million or 100?
Or more.
Or more?
Yeah, you see people someone running for House of Assembly spending 200 million.
200.
Someone is spending 40.
What about governorship, just roughly?
I don't think there's any state in Nigeria that if you're talking about running for governorship, you should have less than 2-3 billion.
Billion, wow.
Yes, I don't see. With the way things are in Nigeria, I don't even see you making a headway if you don't have up to that amount of money.
So that means the barriers to entry are like this. How many young people will be able to afford 2 billion, 3 billion to run for governorship? That's a question for another day. But
so the change is would have to start with the people.
The people. Conversations with Chinenye. Personally, I think that the politicians have spoiled the people and they've also weaponized poverty. Obviously, you talk about stomach infrastructure, we talk about stomach infrastructure. If people feel like the only time they'll see their politician is during elections, so obviously they're going to make it a transactional thing. And if you see someone who hasn't seen 20,000 naira, 10,000 naira together, and then on election day you're giving it to them, the temptation is there that they will take it. So I think it's a two-way thing. Some of the politicians are responsible and then some of the citizens as well. So we need reorientation.
A lot of it.
A lot of reorientation and positive examples, because I've seen people who have very good ideas, brilliant manifestos, education, experience. When they are talking, they say, this one is just speaking English. You're blowing grammar, So we need people who are looking at the content of what the person has to offer, not just the money in the person's hands. Another point is also that a lot of citizens also think that lawmakers are supposed to perform the functions of the executive.
Yeah.
So they say, oh, you're a lawmaker. Why haven't you built a road for us? Why haven't you built a hospital? Meanwhile, as a House of Assembly member, your primary role is oversight and lawmaking, writing legislative bills and all that. So do you have any take on that before we...
Yeah, I think the blame on that would be more on the politicians, because you see someone running for a position of a lawmaker making, making promises that you know that this is actually not even your responsibility. So in order to try and secure people's votes, you tell them, oh, I'm going to build your road, I'm going to do this. Because really, when you talk about your job as making policies and all of that, the common man doesn't understand what you're talking about. Like, you're gonna go do what?
Yeah, they don't understand the
So
process.
you want to now tell them something what they want to hear, and then you make promises. And so when you make promises and you get in there, of course they're going to come back and say, you said you were going to do this, why are you not doing it? You said you're going to do so. So it's a back and forth kind of thing. And then when you also now meet people that come in and tell you and tell the people and say, you know what, it's not my job to do this, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, the masses say, this guy is not ready to, I don't know, I mean, he's good, but he's not ready to lead us. So, well, I was telling you about my friend that, he went on campaigning vigorously and talking to people. And so he focused in the church. He went to different churches, talked to different groups. And I mean, the support was heavy at the time, down to the day of the primaries. So in between the night before the elections and the morning of the elections, I mean, his opponent has gone to share money to all the delegates and everything, So he had this little prayer session before they went into the hall for the primaries.
Wow.
And then one of the women that I know very well, she was one that prayed for him, and, they were praying. There was this large crowd.
Wow.
When they were praying, he opened his eyes and he looked at the crowd and was like, if everybody here votes for me, I mean, I'm going to win. And at the end of the day, the prayers, and they gave him their words and everything, and they went in and did the primaries. And at the end of the day, he had 0 votes.
Wow, 0.
It was that bad that he was like, so even the woman that prayed for him and, didn't even vote for him, even the woman that swore and did everything, like, wow.
We always say this joke that, when someone runs for elections and fails, you have to go for condolence visits. Because honestly, I know someone who also did primaries for presidency, and it was the same thing. If you went to his hotel room the night before the election, everywhere, people were coming, giving him their support, pledging their allegiance. And on that day, I don't even think he got any votes. It's so shocking how human beings can be, and how disappointing, the lies, the deceit. And
they move on,
And they say there's no receipts at the end of the day.
Oh, yes.
So they're not going to, they didn't promise.
And they even come back and tell you, what, don't worry, next time I'm going to be here for you. And there's nothing you can really do. So those are the ups and downs, and when you come to, it's a very
tough term. You're talking about it gently, I know, because you're being a gentleman. But I know in real life, it's very tough.
Oh,
it's not
heartbreaking.
That easy.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking because, I mean, you're talking to someone and the person can even swear to you, knowing that he's not going to give you his word. That is how bad it is. I mean, my friend's own case was horrible because, I mean, he said at least, even the woman that prayed, that said the prayers, should have at least given him her votes for that. It didn't work out. So that's
Conversations with Chinenye.
The solution to whatever problem we're facing in terms of the separation of different arms of government, the executive, the legislative, and it's just the autonomy between all of them.
Okay.
I think if
on paper there is autonomy, so why is it not being practiced?
Yeah, because the law, if it's being passed on the federal level, the law on the various state levels are not being domesticated yet, So I think that is a major problem that we have. You see, when you come to, I always tell my people that the local woman in the market, in the village, has no business with the governor.
Yes.
Has no business with the president. I think the only thing the president owes to every state is a federal allocation, basically. If the president releases a federal allocation to the state, that is the most the president can do for the state. He's on the state governor. And the state governor is on the state level. That's why we have the tiers of government. So for a woman who has a little kiosk selling crayfish and all of that, has no business going to the state level, talking about the governor and all of that. You should be talking to your counselor.
Yes.
Who, I mean, every ward is supposed to have a counselor representing a ward. And a ward is as small as a community. So if you have a councillor that you can hold responsible, if you don't get your pensions, if you don't get your gratuity, if you don't get your salaries, you can go to your councillor and say, you go to his house in the morning and knock on his door and say, listen, this. And the councillor will in turn go to the local government, talk to the local government chairman, who receives the allocation.
Conversations with Chinenye. The local government chairman are supposed to have their own allocation. So there's federal, there's state, and there's local government. They're supposed to have their budgets, they're supposed to be autonomous. And that way, people on the grassroots level can feel the dividends of their democracy. They can feel the impact of government. I want to give an example with Rwanda. The reason why we go there a lot is because when you go to Rwanda, things work. It's the cleanest city in Kigali is the cleanest city in Africa. You know, the electricity, everything is in 90-something%. Education, housing. Guess what? They have districts. Everything, the government and the governance style is divided down to the country, 10 families. You know, so they know what is happening in every single, like we have in Nigeria, the councillors you talked about and all that. So how do we have this system implemented in Nigeria? Because we know a lot of our governors are like tyrants, sorry to say, but they want to hold on to the money, they want to hold on to the control. How can we strengthen our local governments? I saw a viral video actually that had to do with a local government chairman in a state in Nigeria. And basically they were bowing down to the governor because of their allocation. So basically the governor had withheld the allocation and it's caused this whole hula baloo in the state, and they literally had to lie down flat to beg the governor. How does this tie into this whole concept of having leadership on the grassroots level and the role of local governments, from your experience?
So, I mean, in Igbo, there's this adage that onye jiji ka ewu neso. So that simply means that whoever holds the yam is the person that the goat would follow.
Okay.
So whoever has the money, the allocation, calls the shots.
Yeah.
That's basically what happens in today's governance. So in a state where local government system is off, and when I say off, I mean it's not just about appointing TC chairman, caretaker committees. You know, if there are local government chairman, executive chairman being elected by the people, going through the process of elections, and they come in as local government chairman, they have the powers of a local government chairman, they're going to be entitled to allocations. Because they're answerable to the people,
Exactly.
not to the governor.
Yeah.
So they're going to make sure that their names and their reputations are being saved first of all before trying to save that of the governor. So at the end of every month, they're going to call for the allocation and they want to have the allocations. And when they have the allocation as a local government chairman, mind you, you're also going to be surrounded by your councillors who also have the responsibility to speak for their own people from their various wards. And they're not going to be looking at you squander the allocation. So they're going to also hold you accountable. And they're going to make sure and be like, okay, from my ward, there's this transformer that is bad, there's this road I will have to grade, there's this, and then there's going to be appropriate budget in every local government. And that's that way you see that governance is going to trickle down to the grassroots.
So why is that not happening in Nigeria? Why don't we have a system where our local governments work?
Because there are no local government elections.
But why don't we have local government elections?
Well, because most of the governors don't want to hold the local government elections.
Is that legal?
No, it's not legal. But then,
why are we as a country always folding our arms and watching things that are not supposed to be the way they are? Like, do you think that we're too docile as citizens, or is it the politicians, or where, you know, in terms of solutions?
Well, I don't really know what to call it, but then I would give credits to this present government, because I know that at some point President Tinubu had given out some orders that every state government should conduct local government elections.
Okay.
I think that came up a few months ago, and I was really impressed when I heard that.
Did they follow the other states conducting local government elections now?
Well, I would think that that is going to be enforced. I hope it is being enforced, because you see what? The problem of this country is misappropriation of powers in terms of the tiers of the government.
I agree.
If this country is going to be okay, then that law should be enforced.
I agree.
If the local government system starts to work, trust me, nobody's going to stay in the village and be cussing out the president. Nobody's going to stay in the village and be cussing out the governor. No, you're going to cuss out the person that is closest to you.
Absolutely.
And the person closest to you is, politics is local.
Yes.
If I come up tomorrow and I want to be a councillor, and the people that are going to vote me are my kingsmen, we're not talking about going to campaign somewhere far away. Your kingsmen are going to campaign for you. And they get me in there and I go there and mess up, then I can count myself that it's over. My political life is over. So nobody's going to have the opportunity. And I mean, everybody around is looking up to you and then you fail them. No. Yeah. I should think that everybody that gets into power will have some form of dignity and want to preserve it, no matter what. So if we can hold people accountable, trust me, things are going to work.
Conversations with Chinenye. So we need a system that works and functions. Now, this term, chairman, local government chairman, why is it not chairperson? And have you ever seen a woman as a local government chairwoman, for instance? What's your take on women in politics and how can women succeed in politics in Nigeria?
Well, yeah, first and foremost, since I was born, I've never seen a woman become a local government chairperson. No, I've not seen that, but I've seen women become vice chairman.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, I've seen women a couple of times, even in my local government, where women become vice chairman of various local governments. I don't know if women have actually even tried to venture into that aspect of running for a look, but I think maybe if they do, it could work. I'm someone that believes so much in, women inclusion in politics.
Are you just saying this because I'm a woman? I hope not.
No, I'm not. But because most of the women I've seen doing exceptionally well in the various fields, I know 100% will do well in politics if given the opportunity. And also, we've also seen that to an extent, women are getting it right. Like in the present administration, there are a lot of women in the government, and somehow.
Well, these women are appointees. They are ministerial appointees and all that, but they don't really. A lot of them have not won their elected positions.
Yeah, I mean, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a full step. But I think for women and for non-hardcore politicians, the best way to get into the system is to come through appointment.
Okay.
Because I mean, if you're going to sit down and wait for when you make all the money to come in and start doing campaigns and running for actual elections, I mean, it might take a lot. But then, just like you are, if I were a governor today, I'll make sure you're in my cabinet, 100%.
Wow.
And then, I mean, what do you take out of it? Like from my state, the former commissioner for finance was a woman and she did exceptionally well. Okay. And today she's the present minister for trade and investment.
That's true.
And maybe after becoming the minister for trade and investment, she can decide with her capacity and everything, go back to her place and decide to run for elections.
That's true.
That way it's going to be easy because she already has structures.
Yeah.
People that are going to work for her, people that are going to, carry her campaign all the way. And it might just be a smooth ride for her. So basically it's even faster than someone coming, from the fresh trying to campaign and all of that. So I would say either ways, you can make a difference from the outside. You have to be in the inside. So however you get into the inside, whether from the door, from the window, for whatever it is, just be in the corridors of power and then you can always do whatever you want to do.
Conversations with Chinenye. For the young people out there, and I want to tie this, my final question will be on the Japa syndrome in Nigeria. Or it's not even just in Nigeria. I think across Africa, a lot of people are trying to leave the shores of their country. They're looking for a better life. They're trying to, make it. They want to go to Europe. They want to go to America. They're trying to run away because things are hard in the country. Unemployment is hard. There's inequality. A lot of young people are tired. Some are feeling hopeless. And I want people who watch this to leave with a call to action, something to encourage them, to give them hope. So on that basis, what would you say to a young Nigerian, African, somebody out there saying, what do I do? Do I stay? Do I go? How can I make a difference? So I want you to give them parting words, encouraging words.
I would say I wouldn't want to be an advocate of the Japa syndrome. I mean, I used to, back in the days, I used to be an anti-Japa person. Okay. But honestly, in the recent times, when you hear reasons why people are actually moving out, you will just probably be wanting to deceive the person to stay back in Nigeria. Let me give an example.
So basically now you're pro-Japa.
So I'm also not 100% pro-Japa, but then I'm going to come in between two, because there's a lot of work the government has to do.
Okay.
And then there's a lot of work we, the younger people, have to do in terms of mindset as well. So I think I can't remember whether it was Daddy Freeze or someone who said, just gave a scenario how whiskey is worth over how many $1 million? And then a professor in a university earns below $1 million. And then he throws this question: what would be your advice to a young child growing? Either to be a whiskey or to be a professor? And when you look at it, I think it was Daddy Freeze, and when you look at it, there's no encouragement for quest for education. I mean, because everybody wants to be successful, no matter how you look at it. The reason why we go to school, why we do whatever we do, is to end up becoming successful. So if you look at this as success, and then you look at the journey, the train, and you look at this as failure, and you look at this, nobody wants to do that.
Are you saying that?
So I'm saying that the government would have a lot of work to do in terms of putting dignity into certain professions. That is the only way a lot of people, if we start celebrating the professors, teachers, the doctors, I mean, you don't know how bad it is that medical doctors are not. I have a friend of mine that is a medical doctor in this Abuja, and he earns below 300,000 a month.
Wow.
I mean, what can 300,000 possibly do for you? And then he has colleagues and friends that he knows that he's way better than, and they are abroad earning well over 6 digits.
Yeah.
So what is encouragement, basically? There's no encouragement staying back here, because if you're staying back, what are you actually even staying back for?
Who will solve the problem if everybody runs away?
Yeah, so that is where the mindset of that, the question of mindset comes in terms of we, the younger people. So I believe that every young person should be very, very, very creative, basically. So if you're a medical doctor, don't just be a medical doctor. Going to some general government hospital, working and coming back home. Of course, you're not even gonna find passion in whatever you do. So we have to build our mindsets. The younger people will have to build our mindsets so much that we're creative and we see opportunities and areas that you don't feel that.
Can you give me 2 examples or 3 examples of those opportunities for young people as we're closing out? What are some of the sectors in Nigeria or in Africa that you think that there are opportunities for young people?
All the sectors. I will tell you all the sectors, most especially the agricultural sector.
Okay.
I have a friend of mine who at some point was so much about wanting to leave this country, and then I'm like, what even gives you joy, basically? And he had interest in farming, So somehow it was also about opportunity. I tried to hook him up with some people I knew in NISAL and CBN, and then he was able to get, little grant, and he started off with growing ginger. And not long after that, he got off tickets from Dubai.
Wow.
And he started,
exporting to
and today I'll tell you he's big on it.
Wow.
Very big.
So
I have friends too that are into fish farming, and for whatever amount you tell them to leave this country, they will never leave this country.
Wow.
Because they don't even move out. A friend of mine from Imo State, who is into fish farming, doesn't take one of his fish out of Imo State.
Wow. So
the demand is huge. Wow. Right in his locality, and he's making a lot of money, and it's not just about having money, really. It's also about finding fulfillment in whatever you do.
Absolutely.
Basically. And so that is what I feel that we, the younger generation, we the youth should, we have to work on our mindset, basically. Let's have the mindset that we can create anything from nothing.
Absolutely.
When I wanted to run for elections, and I told my friends that I was going to run for House of Assembly, I mean, to everybody, thought I was going nuts. I mean,
Wow.
like, are you okay? So a friend of mine that uncle was a House of Assembly member at the time said, my uncle is 60-something years old,
Wow.
and he's a House of Assembly, and are you okay? You need to take malaria drugs. But then,
wow.
for me, I saw it like, I mean, but what's the
worst
it's
that
going to
can
happen. Before I started the race, I knew I was going to win, and it happened.
Amazing.
So most times it's about building our mindset so much that we believe in what we want to do, and we believe in ourselves that we can achieve whatever we want to do. That way, somehow in the very hopeless spaces, we can find hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I will not fail to say that the government has a lot to do too to help the syndrome, reduce, because in the situation, I mean, it's not everybody that's going to build that mindset. So for the ones that don't build a mindset, there has to be something cushioning that, we can have people celebrate hard work, basically. Because these days now, the reason why you go and a lot of young people get into cyber crimes and all of that is because they feel that's the easiest way to make money. There's no... You hardly see, even in the universities, you go to the universities. I mean, back then when I was in school, we knew how it was. Today, you go to universities, you go to hostels and you see cars parked everywhere. And these are students driving expensive cars. So how are they getting the money? So everybody's getting into that because they feel that is the fastest way to make money. So there's a lot of work to be done. But I will tell my parting words, my advice to every young person is to try to be organic. Try to be yourself. Every human being has a calling. Every human being has a reason why God has brought you into this world. So try to be the best of what you can be. Don't try to be someone else, because no two human beings are the same. So try to be the best version of yourself. And also know that with determination and with God, you can always achieve whatever you want to achieve, basically.
So my call to action to young people out there is, if you have the desire, if you think that you can actually run for office, go ahead, join a political party. You just never know. I know we've talked about all the millions and billions that are needed for elections, but guess what? There's crowdfunding. If you come out and you actually sell yourself, young people might actually donate, other people might donate, people in the diaspora might donate. So don't let fear or limiting belief hold you back. This has been an amazing conversation. I really think that there's hope. Yes, I know that things might seem very dark or dim or depressing or discouraging, and people might feel like their only choice is to run away. However, yes, some people might, move away and develop themselves and still give back to the country or the continent from where they are. But for those who choose to stay, for the nation builders who choose to get involved, there's so much for you to do. Bearing in mind that people are also scrambling for Africa. People all over the world want to come and invest. This country and continent has, given birth to billionaires and entrepreneurs and innovators and politicians. And so you can be one of them, right? And the whole essence of this series is to interview people who have lived experience, people who have walked the talk, that have shown that it's possible. Just to encourage you all out there, there is hope. Keep doing what you're doing, don't give up. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen to us. Look forward to having you in the next episode. Bye. That stuff. So, at the end of the day, they say those who fail to plan to fail. And not able to build a conversations with Chinenye.